The more I look at it, the more orchestrated this stuff actually seems to me. Now, for the first time since the ETFs were approved, the inflows, i.e. the buying of Bitcoin, has finally outpaced the selling of Bitcoin. So what that indicates is that the net Bitcoin has been bought by the likes of Blackrock, Fidelity, ARK Invest. Everyone's buying Bitcoin to seed the ETFs. Even further, are buying more Bitcoin than Greyscale is selling. So the sales that were going on by Greyscale, aka FTX, have now slowed down to the point where, of course, the buying has now eclipsed it. Now, the reason why I say that it seemed a little bit orchestrated is that I find it a little bit convenient that I know that the selling was initiated by the fact that they could not sell. Why was it that the sales started pretty much immediately? And the effect of that is it creates a disillusionment in the mind of people who don't know better. And it's created this impression that the ETFs were sort of a nothing burger, right? And it's kind of dampened the spirit. There was so much tension, there was so much expectation, so much frenzy wound up expecting these ETFs. This isn't the first time that people were expecting the ETFs to be approved. I remember even during the all-time highs in 2021, the blow off top that was supposed to happen for Bitcoin was supposed to be catalysted, or is that a word? Was supposed to be caused by the acceptance of an ETF. But way back then, it was seen to be something that was slightly unlikely for the times and projected forward into coming years, which has now occurred exactly how people had predicted it. But even back then, people expected the approval of Bitcoin ETF to basically skyrocket the price and give us that blow off top. Now, because the ETFs didn't happen before the crashes began, the bull market basically ended, okay? So we never got the blow off top, even though we had all-time high prices, were quite high. But Bitcoin was supposed to go over 100,000 last bull market, but it didn't. Now that we've had the ETFs right at the beginning of the bull market, effectively, and before the halving, I feel that it's been orchestrated to take the venom away, to take the fire away from underneath the FOMO, right? But I think going forward, we're going to see that the frenzy is going to return as people realize that the selling has slowed down, and eventually FTX, Greyscale, all of those guys are going to run out of Bitcoin. And no matter how much Bitcoin that they do have, including the Bitcoin that's been threatened to be sold by the United States government, isn't anywhere near enough actually to satisfy the requirements, right? The need, the demand for Bitcoin. You got to understand that people like Blackrock, who already apparently own about 3% of Bitcoin in just a short period of time. Obviously, they've been buying from before, and obviously they made some large purchases from whales, OTC. But the fact that they haven't even put their money in and already they're commanding quite a large chunk is saying something. This is not necessarily a good thing. I'm going to make a completely different video about that in a bit. But the point still remains that the demand for Bitcoin is going to be so high when the ball gets rolling that all of those sort of $500,000, $1 million per Bitcoin that we keep hearing is not completely far-fetched when you think about the supply shock that's coming when the halving happens and then another halving and then countries start to buy and everyone goes all out in buying Bitcoin. And of course, when that time comes, as they say, a rising tide lifts all boats. We're going to see the money flow down into Ethereum, into XRP, into Solana, into Chainlink. Chainlink is doing amazingly well, by the way. And I understand why. Again, another video that's coming soon. So don't be disheartened. Don't give away your money to these big guys. BlackRock wants your Bitcoin and they want it from you now. So all of this FUD that you're going to be hearing in the ecosystem, it's for one thing and one thing only, is to shake your faith in Bitcoin and is to take your money from you. So don't fall for that. Not financial advice, of course. Do your own research and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.